crazy little thing called Lovdev. It's episode 106. Love Bites. Oh, it's the summer holidays. The summer vacation has started in the UK. And all the parents are pulling out their hair. Not yet. They will be in about 2 weeks. Yes, it's the summer holidays in the UK. Officially started. Not weather-wise, though. The weather has been awful. It's just been raining constantly. I keep looking at my weather map for the forecast, and it just keeps showing me rain. Cloud, rain, bit of sun for a bit, just to tease us, and then back to rain again. Oh dear. Yes, every parent out there is going to go through a crisis where they have to entertain their children, unless they're going abroad on holiday. I'm going abroad soon, in a couple of weeks. I'll be off to Portugal. I won't tell you when, in case you try and rob my house. There's nothing to rob, unless you want the cat. Maybe. Yeah. So, school summer holidays, officially, as I said. It's that time of year when you don't know what to do with your kids, do you? Like, do you take them to the park? Do you go into all the freebie sites? What do you do? There's some really nice places in the UK that you can travel to if you have the time. Obviously, depending on your location, I suppose. I remember during lockdown, we stayed in the UK like everyone else, and we just toured. Like, we went to so many different places, and that was nice. I've actually just ordered a new laptop for my son because he asked me if he can have one, right? And because he's got a very small box room, he doesn't really have anywhere to put a PC in. So I thought, yeah, do you know what? A laptop is a good idea. Obviously, he wants to just play games on it, and he does a lot of video editing on TikTok, so maybe that will help him. He's quite good at that. I mean, he's got like 10k followers, as I mentioned. He's probably got more. He's got more than me. Everyone else is doing better than me in my family. Like my brother. So he had his show called Made in Britain with India slashed out, and he talks about being deaf, living in a deaf community and a hearing community, and facing racism on both sides, and learning sign language at a very late age of his life. Stuff like that, and it's really, really good. I think his tour has stopped at the moment. I'm not sure if he's going to Edinburgh, to be honest. But I think he'll be back in the UK doing that. So yeah, he's doing really well. But one thing I've been doing, I've been writing loads of comedy. I've been doing this thing now. So when I'm not working, I'll be at home and I'll write for 30 minutes in the morning. I will set a timer. So I will set a timer on my phone, and then I'll put my phone away. So I don't even look at my phone because it's just a distraction. And I get distracted very easily. So then I would go through some of my old stuff, and then I would look at it and I would think, right, what can I do with this story? And I would just start writing stories. As a lot of you know, I've been writing a lot more stories now than actual one-liners. It's going quite well. It's going really well. I've been listening to a lot of other podcasts, which I recommend. If there's any comics that listen to this podcast, I would suggest listening to Jerry Seinfeld's Creativity, I think it's called. If you just Google that, you should find it. It's not Jerry Seinfeld's podcast, but it's somebody who interviewed him and asked him, like, what's his process? How does he write jokes? How does he stop himself from getting distracted? And stuff like that. And I've been listening to quite a few of them. And I thought, do you know what? There's some really good advice there. So I've been following that, and it's been going really well. So there's this new app that's out. I'm sure a lot of you already know about it. Thread. It's called Thread. It's by Instagram. It's basically a copy of Twitter. I'm not that keen on it. Like, I just feel it's just another app, innit? Like, how many apps do we need, man? Instagram is good enough, I think. It's just pictures, videos. You don't have to read about someone's whole life story on it. And Thread is kind of like that. It's just basically a mini version of Facebook. I rarely use it. I don't know how good it is. I don't know what it does to you. I don't even know, man. Like, and why did they call it Thread? I actually wrote a joke about it. I said, just got myself that new Thread app, hoping to get my eyebrows done. I do need to get my eyebrows done, especially for our holiday. So yeah, man, like, I'm on that anyway. If you want to follow me, you can. Just put in Lovdev comedian. It should come straight up. Give me a follow. I rarely post anything. If you already follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, then you're going to see the same stuff. So, yeah, it's quite pointless. I don't know what they're doing with that. But yeah, man, apps are taking over our lives, isn't it? Like, what's going to be the next app? What is there we can do as an app that is different to all the other apps? I can't think of any. I've been writing this bit now. I don't know how it's going to go, but basically I talk about arranged marriages, right? And I talk about how my dad used to be a matchmaker. And he had 2 books, right? He had a red one and a blue one. Red for girls and blue for boys. And he'd have all their details on there. But I don't think it was GDPR regulated. But his descriptions were quite terrible. I read one of them and it said, 28-year-old, single, works in a bank. Description, short and fat. I said my dad is like the Indian version of Tinder. My dad actually came out before Tinder. He was doing all this way before all these other apps are out. So we called him Jatinder. Because he's like the Indian version. That's the joke. And then I thought, how about this one, which I love, and I can't wait to try it on stage, actually. So he's going to do one for the Jamaican community. So he's fixing updates for the Jamaican community, and we've called him Bumbleclart. Bumbleclart. Oh my god. God, I'm absolutely nuts. Bumbleclart. You get it? Because, yeah. Anyway. Let's stop gibbering and jabbering. How about we ask a question for the UK? Maybe I'll find one about apps. Who knows? Yeah. It's time for Ask the UK. I don't think it is. It's not app related, unfortunately. But it's a weird question. It's kind of like weird news, but it's not, isn't it? So Ask the UK, obviously, always from Reddit. I think Reddit is great. Now, there's an app which I think is brilliant. Reddit is amazing. I love it. It's there's another one now called Quora, and I get emails from Quora, and they send me stuff very similar to Reddit, right? But it's always like 2 or 3 year old posts, and I'm thinking, why do I want to read about that? And it's always stuff like, my son keeps playing Roblox and I smashed up his computer. Am I a bad parent? It's always, that's the same question I keep seeing. Maybe I need to stop my kids from playing Roblox. I don't even know. Right then, so on with Ask the UK. This one has been put up by True Solid 611. I like that. True Solid. Okay, True Solid. Not sure how I'm going to answer this question, but we'll give it a go. The question is, what weird smells do you actually like? What weird smells do I like? I don't think there's any weird smell that I like. I don't know, man. A lot of people like the smell of curry, right? I don't I'm not really a fan of the smell of curry. Only because my dad used to make curries at 3 o'clock in the morning when I was a kid. So I used to wake up and the house would be stinking of curry, man. And I used to think, why does he do that? And my dad said, because he likes it to be made. So when he wakes up in the morning, he's got something to eat. What are you talking about, man? Do it in the morning. Don't do it like when we're asleep. Anyway, I'm glad I don't live with them anymore. I don't know, man. Is there any weird smells that I like? Some people, I got a friend, right, who likes the smell of pavement. So you know the pavement, the slabs. When it rains on it, they love that smell. That's because every Asian's garden is paved, apart from mine. Less maintenance. Yeah, I don't know, man. I haven't got... I'm one of these people who likes to smell good. And when people tell me that I smell good, it kind of brings a little smile on my face. You know, I feel good inside as well. So I can't really think of... no, I can't. I'm going to see what he's saying, because he's got more to this. He says, we know most people love the smell of petrol. So I wouldn't even say that was a weird one. For me, I really like the smell of wet dog. Oh my God, are you serious, mate? But my partner said that's weird. Yeah, she's right. And it's a bit weird. Oh, and apparently it is a bit weird, he said. Yeah, of course it is, mate. It's awful. How can... The smell of dog? Dogs don't smell nice when they're wet. My cat, right, sometimes she stinks, man. Like, cats are clean animals, right? One time she stank, man. And I was like, what is that smell? It's like, you need a frigging bath. And cats hate baths as well. So we got her washed from and groomed by a cat grooming place, right? And they sorted her out. She's all right now. But yeah, I don't know, man. Wet animals, nah, man. Not for me, mate. He says, it reminds me of the smell of dough. What kind of dough are you smelling? I know what you're saying, but no, it doesn't smell like dough. Which I love too. Actually, yeah. Do you know what? It's not a weird smell, but I like the smell of bread. Innit? Fresh bread, man. Smells so good. I like the smell of freshly cut grass. Yeah. Yeah, he's right. I do as well. I don't know what it is about fresh grass. That's why I love cutting the grass, because, you know, when you cut your grass, it smells alright, innit? And he likes the smell of wood. Now he's put down, what about yours? He's put something else down, right? Because he's edited the comment, and I've just seen it, and I don't even want to repeat what he said. Basically, let's just say he likes the smell of being in the ocean with the sailors and the seamen. He likes the smell of seamen, if you know what I mean. Those of you who got kids in the car. How can you like the smell of seamen? Oh my God. His own one as well. And he's got a girlfriend. There's something wrong with this guy, isn't it? There's something definitely wrong with him. It's a good question, but it's a weird one. Right, what have other people put down? Someone's put down, not quite a weird smell, very commonly adored. I don't know what that means. The chemical responsible for the smell is called geoism. Oh, they're all talking about the seamen. It is, someone said candles. Okay, candles ain't bad, is it? Like, you can get scented candles. Or does she mean, like, normal candles? I'll tell you what, there's one, I know it's supposed to be this weird smells that you like. There's one smell I absolutely hate, and that's incense sticks. Oh my God, incense sticks. I don't even know why Indians burn them. It's not a nice smell at all. Is it? And I don't even think it's healthy. Like, an incense stick, there's got to be something wrong with them. I reckon that there has to be. Like, it smells like... It's a weird smell to describe, isn't it? It's like a burning chemical smell. That's how I can describe an incense stick. And I actually banned them. I don't even know if I've told you this before, guys. But if you're an adamant listener to this podcast, thank you. You might have heard me said it before. But I actually banned my missus from lighting them. So she used to love lighting incense sticks, and I hate... Oh my God, awful, man. I used to feel sick when I could smell one. And I told her not to bring them anymore. I said, don't burn them. You want to burn one, yeah? Put it in the garden. Another smell I like, barbecue. That's probably one of my favourite smells. When one of my neighbours has got a barbecue going on, I'm like, yo, someone's having a barbie, man. Because it just reminds you of summer, doesn't it? Nice burgers, hot dogs, whatever it is, chicken tikka, whatever you got on that grill. Oh, that's why I love a grill, is because of the smell of the barbecue. It's that time again. Now I'm going to move swiftly on, as always, and I always say swiftly on, don't I? Think of something else to say. It's the No Stupid Questions by Guilty Chemistry. This one has been put up. Very similar to, not the last question, but I just felt like Ask the UK was a weird question, innit? It was a No Stupid Question, which is what I'm doing right now. But that's the podcast. That's what I decided to do. If you guys have better options, then let me know. All right, I like this one because it kind of reminds me of something else that I wanted to talk about, funny enough. And I want to talk about it before my daughter gets back from school. And she's due home any minute because she breaks up early. Lucky. So, the question is, by Guilty Chemistry, it says, were you taught to set a table as a child? No, I wasn't. Was I? No, the reason... Well, I wasn't, I'll be honest now, because we normally eat with our hands, so we didn't really need a knife and a fork. So me growing up, right, eating, obviously, Indian food. So we normally eat with our hands, and if we were going to set a table, it would be probably just our drinks and a plate, because my mum would come over with all the food and put it for us, and then we would just eat with our hands, like I said. So I never really set a table when I was a child. I only started setting tables, right, from when I was at school. Now, this is true, right? I was so bad, I never knew which way I was meant to hold the knife and fork. I only realised at school. I used to look around and then I'd just look at my mates and go, oh, hang on. They've got the fork in the left hand. Oh, because I used to have it in my right hand, right? And I'm not even left-handed. So, and that's when I learned that, oh, you're meant to hold your fork on your left and your knife on the right. And honestly, that's generally true, right? So, yeah, I've never really done that. But one thing, I was on about my daughter before she gets back. I said to her, I said, when you're 15, you need to start ironing your clothes. I said, my mom taught me when I was 15. So I said, on your birthday, I'm going to teach you how to iron. And she goes, you're going to teach me how to iron on my birthday? And I said, yeah. Because you need to start ironing your own clothes. And that's what my mom made me do. And now I feel good that I can iron. My missus doesn't iron, mate. She don't like ironing. I love it. So he's put down, my husband and I had a clash of upbringing this evening. I was cooking and I asked my hubby to set the table. I finished up, walked into the dining room to see him standing there looking confused. He had no clue what I was talking about and tried to tell me what I did growing up was not normal and not common knowledge. I think there's a bit of self-respect in that. If you teach your kids how to set a table, that's good. Because you're giving them a task, they're going to learn. And then you don't always have to tell them. Like, we get our kids to set the table, right? They don't do it accurately, so they don't put the fork on the left. They would just leave the knife and fork spoon together. And then they would put a plate there. But they're lazy, so I'm like, go and get a drink. And then they'll get a glass. Go and get an actual drink to put your drink in. then they'd go and get... So it's like back and forth. But I think the more you keep telling them, they get used to it. And that's like everything else. So I think maybe it was just his upbringing. He was probably the only son in the family, maybe, and he didn't have to do it. Like my missus, she was the youngest in her family from her siblings, and she didn't have to do anything. So all of her older siblings used to do all the work. And because she was the youngest, she got away with it. That's what she told me. That's why she doesn't iron. Now, there we go. So it's a similar scenario, shall we say, with the question that she says, is it normal? Yeah, I think growing up, it's a good thing to learn. It's a good skill. You know, you should get your children to know all the basics, I think. How to hoover, how to sweep, you know, how to tell the window salesman that your house is rented. So then they leave you alone, innit? It's little common things like that. Obviously, they're going to grow up. They're going to leave the nest when they go to university or when they get a job and it's in another city or a town. Then they should know these skills. So basically, your husband needs to grow up. Some people have put down, I never had to, but I assumed it would be common knowledge and pretty easy. Literally just a tablecloth, plates and cutlery. Condiments in the middle, if you got them. Another person's put down, my family never had a tablecloth. It was always seemed useless to me. I'll tell you what we've got. We've got a plastic sheet over our table. You can't get more Indian than plastic sheets. Everything in the house is covered in plastic. Oh, God, that was good. I like that one. That was a good, no stupid question for me. It is that time for my favourite part of the show. I don't even know why I'm talking like that. It's the weird news story. Yes, I love weird news stories. And this one comes all the way from, I think it's from there because it's in the title of the story, Mexico! Da-da-da-da-da, 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 da-da-da-da-da. I don't know why, I always know that from that. Is that Mexican, isn't it? Be funny if that was actually Spanish. I know it's definitely Mexican. So, hopefully this story will be a good one because the title seems to be funny. And what is that? Mexican mayor weds a reptile. Huh? A Mexican mayor marries a reptile? And he couldn't be happier. That's today's story. Well, which I'm going to tell you about right now. So, as onlookers clapped and danced, a mayor of a small southern Mexico town entered into holy matrimony with a female reptile, in a traditional rite to bring good fortune to his people. Victor Hugo Sosa. Shout out to Victor Hugo Sosa. He loves a Sosa. Mayor of the San Pedro Humilialo, a town of indigenous Chontal people in the... Oh God, I picked the wrong story. The Tehupanatec Istamos of Mexico. Took as his betrothed a reptile named Alicia Adriana. Reenacting an ancestral ritual. Sorry. I can't even say the word. I mean, I can't even say that word compared to the Mexican words. I probably got the Mexican words right. So anyway, the reptile is a caiman, right, which is an alligator like marsh dweller endemic to Mexico and Central America. Sosa, let's call him Sausages. Sausages swore to be true to what local law calls the princess girl. I accept responsibility because we love each other. This is what is important. You can't have a marriage without love. I yield to marriage with the princess girl, Sosa said during the ritual. Marriage between a man and a female caiman has happened here 230 years to commemorate the day, and when two indigenous groups come to peace with a marriage. Tradition has it that frictions were overcome when a Chontal king, right, what he done? He embodied these days by the mayor, wedded a princess girl of the Huavi indigenous group, who represented by the female alligator. Right. Now this makes more sense. So there was a king years ago, married a girl, and she kind of represented an alligator, I think. Is this where this story is going? The Huavi live along coastal Oxa State, not far from this inland town. The wedding allows the sides to link with what is the emblem of Mother Earth, asking the all-powerful for rain, the germination of the seed, all those things that are peace and harmony for the Chontal man, explains Jamie Zarate. Shout out to Jamie Zarate. He's the Chronicle of San Pedro Humaluala. Before the wedding ceremony, the reptile is taken house to house so that inhabitants can take her in their arms and dance. The alligator wears a green skirt, very nice, a colourful hand-embroidered tunic, and a headdress of ribbons and sequins. The creature's snout is bound shut to avoid any pre-matrimonial mishaps. Later, she is put in a white bride's costume. She's taken to town hall for the blessed event. As part of the ritual, João Fasqueezy, shout out to João Fasqueezy, he's a local fisherman, right? He tosses his net and intones the town and hopes that the marriage may bring good fishing, so that there is prosperity, equilibrium, and ways to live in peace. After the wedding, this is what I want to know, do they have an actual wedding night? I hope not. Can you imagine that? The mayor dances with his bride to the sounds of traditional music. God, it must feel awful for that alligator, ain't it? Imagine if you're that female alligator and you're just getting passed around the village like a friggin' souvenir, innit? Like a baby. Like a newborn baby. We are happy because we celebrate the union of two cultures. People are content, Sausages told AFA. As the dance winds down, oh, here we go, there's the raunchy stuff. The king plants a kiss on the snout of the princess girl. That's it. That's the end. I bet there's more to that story, man. It don't just end with a kiss on the snout, innit? I bet they get a bit snappy with each other, eh? I wonder if the sausages mayor turns round to the guests and then goes, "See you later, alligator." Oh god, that's so funny, isn't it? Man, this is what I miss doing this podcast. I love it, man. It should be bigger than it is, isn't it? This podcast, man, it don't even have that many listeners. But you guys listen, and that is the main thing. Oh, funny. So on that note, I think we'll end it. And I'll come back on another day and find another story. Take care, guys. I'll see you soon. Thank you for listening. Do remember, share, like, tell your friends. It really helps with the algorithms of the podcaster. See you soon. Ta-da, folks.